If you keep putting things off, even the stuff you want to do, this audiobook is for you. No lectures, no guilt trips. Just real talk about why we procrastinate and how to finally break the cycle. If you're tired of feeling stuck, this is your no-pressure guide to getting back in motion, one small step at a time. Chapter 1. It's not laziness, it's something deeper. Why you're not broken, and why you keep putting things off. Most people think procrastination means you're lazy or just don't care enough. But that's not true, and deep down you know it. You care a lot. You want to get things done. You're just stuck. And here's the truth. Procrastination isn't about laziness, it's about emotions. You put things off not because you're not capable, but because something inside you is uncomfortable. A fear of messing it up. A fear of not being good enough. Overwhelm from not knowing where to start. Or even just pressure to be perfect. That pressure can feel so heavy that your brain goes, let's just scroll for 5 minutes. And then suddenly it's been 2 hours. Sound familiar? You're not weak for feeling that way. You're human. And your brain is doing what it thinks will protect you, avoiding discomfort. The problem is that short-term relief leads to long-term stress. So instead of calling yourself lazy, try asking, what am I actually avoiding? Sometimes the answer is fear. Sometimes it's exhaustion. Sometimes it's just that the task feels way too big to even begin. And that's where the shift starts. Once you stop shaming yourself, you free up energy to move again. Here's a simple mindset shift. You're not lazy. You're stuck and you need a plan, not punishment. Because shame doesn't make you move. It just keeps you hiding. So today, if you've been procrastinating, don't go into panic mode. Just pause. Breathe. Remind yourself. You're not behind. You're beginning now. You don't have to do it all. Just one small thing. You're allowed to start messy. The magic is in starting. This book isn't going to yell at you to just do it. It's going to walk with you, one small action at a time. Chapter 2. Start with one small win. Forget motivation, build momentum instead. Everyone says, just start. But when your brain's in procrastination mode, even starting feels like a mountain. You look at your to-do list and feel stuck before you've even moved. That's because your brain is craving a win, not a lecture. Here's a better approach. Don't try to finish everything. Just aim for one small win. Something so tiny it feels almost silly. Like opening the laptop, a writing one sentence, a washing one dish, a making your bed, a sending one quick email. These don't sound big, and that's the point. Small wins create motion. Motion builds momentum. And momentum beats motivation every single time. Think of it like this. Motivation is a mood. Momentum is a muscle. When you complete something, even tiny, your brain gets a little hit of, hey, I did that. And that feeling makes it easier to do the next thing. It's like pushing a heavy car. The first push is the hardest. But once the wheels start rolling, even a little, it gets easier. That's how procrastination works too. You don't have to be in the mood. You just need to move. So instead of staring at the mountain, find the smallest, most doable piece at the bottom. Here's how to pick your small win. Or ask, what's the tiniest action I can take toward this? Make it so easy you can't say no. Celebrate it once it's done, yes, even that one email. Don't wait for the big energy wave. Most people sit around waiting to feel ready, and that wave never comes. What works is doing the tiniest thing first, and then riding the momentum that follows. One dish leads to the whole sink. One email leads to clearing your inbox. One idea leads to a full page. But none of it starts unless you go small first. Tiny wins create big movement. So don't chase motivation. Chase momentum. Chapter 3. Make the task feel smaller. How to break the big stuff into doable pieces. One of the biggest reasons we procrastinate is because the thing we need to do feels too big, too long, too complicated, too many steps. So our brain says, I'll deal with it later. and later becomes tomorrow, and tomorrow becomes next week. Sound familiar? Here's the fix: make the task feel smaller. You don't need to change the goal, just the way you approach it. Big tasks need to be broken down into bite-sized actions. Because your brain can't do huge, but it can do small now. Let's say you need to clean your entire room. That sounds like a full-blown mission. But what if you just said, or I'll start with just the desk. I'll set a 5-minute timer and do what I can. Or I'll throw out just one bag of trash. Suddenly it feels easier. The resistance goes down. You're more likely to start, and once you start, you're more likely to keep going. This works for anything. Don't write the report. Just open the doc and write one paragraph. Don't get in shape. Just go for a 10-minute walk today. Don't fix your life. Just fix one thing that's bugging you. Big goals are fine. But big goals with no clear steps? That's just a recipe for avoidance. Here's a trick. Turn every to-do into a single, tiny verb. Not study for exam, try review page 1. Not launch my business, try buy a notebook for ideas. Why this works: it builds clarity. And clarity kills procrastination. Your brain doesn't want perfect. It wants progress. And progress comes from small, simple, clear actions stacked over time. So next time a task feels overwhelming, zoom in. Shrink it. What's the very first step? What would a 5-minute version of this look like? Can I make it so small it's almost impossible to say no? Because when the task feels smaller, the fear gets quieter. And that's when you move. Chapter 4. Stop waiting to feel ready. Why action creates motivation, not the other way around. You ever sit there thinking, I'll start when I feel ready? Hours pass. Days pass. That ready feeling never really shows up. That's because motivation doesn't come first. Action does. We've all been sold this idea that we need to feel motivated before doing something. But the truth? Most successful people act first, and then the motivation shows up after the fact. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't wait to feel excited about it. You just do it, and once it's done, you're glad you did. Same with starting anything. Here's what usually happens when you act before you feel ready. 1. You start small, even if you're dragging yourself into it. 2. You notice you're moving, and that gives you a tiny boost. 3. That boost turns into energy. 4. That energy becomes momentum. 5. Boom, now you're motivated. This is called the action motivation loop. But most people are stuck in the other loop. Wait, delay, guilt, repeat. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, I'm not ready yet, try this instead. Or I'll just start with 5 minutes. Or I'll just open the doc. Or I'll just set up the space. You don't need to do the whole thing. You just need to get in motion. Once you're moving, the readiness grows with each step. Remember, you don't need motivation to start. You need motion to find it. Here's a truth most people miss. You'll never feel fully ready to do something that makes you grow. Because growth always feels a little uncomfortable. That's okay. Do it anyway. Start scared. Start uncertain. Start tired. Just don't wait. Because every time you move, even a little, you prove to yourself, I'm capable. And that proof? That's the fuel that keeps you going. Chapter 5. Manage the overwhelm, not the clock. You don't need more time, you need less pressure. People often think procrastination is a time problem. I just need to manage my time better. But here's the thing, it's not really about time. It's about pressure. You can have a free day, no meetings, nothing urgent, and still feel stuck. Why? Because the task feels emotionally heavy, not just long. So instead of just watching the clock or building color-coded schedules, learn to manage your overwhelm. That's what's keeping you frozen. Overwhelm shows up like this. You don't know where to start. You think you have to do it all perfectly. You're scared of messing it up. You think others expect too much from you. You feel like you're already behind. When your brain gets overwhelmed, it shuts down to protect you. It's not weakness. It's your system saying, "This is too much. Let's avoid it." So what do? You shrink the pressure. Here's how. Write it all down. Getting it out of your head onto paper makes it feel smaller. Highlight just one task. Not the whole list. Just one. Set a short timer. Try 10 minutes. The goal isn't to finish. It's just to start. Drop the idea of perfect. Focus on movement, not mastery. Also, stop trying to catch up. That only adds guilt. Just ask, what can I do today that helps me feel in control again? Even if it's small, that's a win. Think of overwhelm like mental clutter. You don't clean your whole house at once. You start with one drawer, one dish, one corner. Do the same with your to-dos. Because once the pressure drops, the task becomes doable. And once it's doable, your brain says, "Okay, we got this." You don't need a new planner. You don't need to wake up at 5 a.m. You just need to lower the mental weight of what's in front of you. That's how you get unstuck. Chapter 6. Ditch perfection, embrace progress. Done is better than perfect every time. Let's be honest, a lot of procrastination isn't about being lazy. It's about being scared that what you do won't be good enough. You tell yourself, "I'll start when I know how to make it perfect." But perfect never comes, and the task stays undone. That's the trap of perfectionism. It tells you, if it's not perfect, don't bother. If you can't finish it all now, wait. If people might judge it, delay it. And guess what? That pressure keeps you stuck. So here's a mindset shift that frees you up. Aim for progress, not perfection. Because real growth, real success, doesn't come from doing things flawlessly. It comes from doing them imperfectly but consistently. Think about it. A messy first draft is better than a perfect idea stuck in your head. A 10-minute workout is better than waiting for the perfect gym day. A basic website is better than no business at all. Progress stacks. Perfection stalls. Here's a mantra that helps. Done is better than perfect. Because when something is done, it's real. It can grow. It can be improved. But if it stays in your mind, untouched, it's nothing. Also, no one else is looking for your perfect. Most people just want to see your effort. They want connection, clarity, usefulness, not polish. So let your work be a little rough. Let your steps be a little shaky. That's how every expert starts, unsure but still moving. And here's the bonus. Once you let go of perfect, the pressure drops. The task feels lighter. You feel freer. And suddenly, starting feels way easier. So next time you feel stuck, ask, am I waiting for perfect? Or what does progress look like instead? Can I just get this 80% done and come back later? Because the world doesn't need your perfection. It needs your progress. Chapter 7. Learn to talk back to the delay voice. How to stop believing the stories that keep you stuck. We all have that inner voice, the one that says, "You've got time, just do it later. You're too tired right now. You're not ready yet. What's the point if it's not going to be amazing?" That voice sounds logical, calm, even helpful, but it's lying. That's the delay voice, and it's the number one reason procrastination wins. Here's the wild part. That voice isn't evil. It's trying to protect you from discomfort, from failure, from the stress of trying. But its version of protecting you, it keeps you stuck. So the trick isn't to hate that voice. It's to talk back to it. Start noticing it. Literally pause when it shows up and ask, is this thought helping me or stalling me? Or would I say this to a friend? Or what's a more helpful thing I could say instead? Let's say the delay voice says, "You can't focus right now. Just scroll for 5 minutes." You can talk back, "I don't need to feel 100% focused. I just need to start. 5 minutes of work first, then decide." Another common one. "You'll never get it all done, so don't start." Try replying, "I'm not doing it all right now. I'm just doing the first step. You're not arguing with yourself, you're retraining your brain. You're teaching it that discomfort isn't danger, that action is safe, that you're in control. This voice work may feel silly at first, but over time it builds confidence. Every time you talk back, you weaken the old wiring. You create a new pattern, one where your intentions win over your excuses. Here's a simple switch to practice. A from, I don't feel like it, a to, that's okay. I'll do just 5 minutes and see. Tiny changes in your self-talk equals big changes in your behavior. You don't have to fight the delay voice. Just stop letting it lead. You're the one in charge now. Chapter 8. Create triggers that pull you into action. Simple tricks to outsmart your brain and get moving. You ever notice how easy it is to open your favorite app, but hard to start your most important task? That's not a willpower problem. That's a cue problem. Our brains run on habits, and habits start with triggers. A certain time, place, smell, object, or action tells your brain, this is what we do now. The problem? Most of our triggers lead to delay. Couch equals scrolling. Laptop equals YouTube. Phone equals distractions. Bed equals nap. But what if you flipped the script? What if you created simple, clear triggers that lead you into action without waiting for motivation? Here's how to start. 1. Create a space cue. Work in a specific spot. Not your bed, not the couch, somewhere that tells your brain, this is where I focus. Even if it's a corner of your table, keep it consistent. 2. Use time anchors. Pair your task with a time you already do something. Or after breakfast equals 15 minutes of writing. Or after brushing teeth equals 10 minutes stretch. A before lunch equals reply to 3 emails. It becomes a rhythm, not a decision. 3. Have a startup ritual. Light a candle. Put on a playlist. Open the same doc. Start a timer. A short, repeated routine signals. We're doing this now. 4. Make it visible. Out of sight equals out of mind. So put the thing in front of you. Notebook on your chair. To-do list on your mirror. Gym shoes by the door. Triggers remove the need to decide. They replace should I with oh right, I do this now. Because the more friction there is before starting, the easier it is to avoid. Triggers smooth the path. They reduce the energy it takes to begin. Remember, your brain is always looking for cues. If you don't design them, it'll default to whatever's easy. And easy usually means distraction. So design your day on purpose. Stack your triggers. Make the right thing easier to start. You don't need more motivation. You need a better starting signal. Chapter 9. Be kind to yourself without letting yourself off the hook. Balance self-compassion with self-discipline. One of the hardest parts of overcoming procrastination is finding that sweet spot, being kind to yourself without letting yourself make excuses forever. Too soft, and you let everything slide. Too hard, and you burn out. Here's the truth. You need both compassion and accountability. You need to say, it's okay that I'm struggling today. But also say, or I'll still take one small step. A lot of people swing to extremes. Either they beat themselves up, I'm so lazy, what's wrong with me? Or they overly excuse it, I'll do it later, it's fine, no pressure. Neither one works long term. What does work? Talking to yourself the way you'd talk to someone you care about. Yeah, you're tired. But I believe in you. This feels hard, but we'll do 5 minutes and then reassess. It's okay to rest, but let's pick a restart point. This is how you start building inner trust, the kind that says, I've got me. Not through shame, not through softness alone, but through small, steady responsibility. Self-discipline doesn't mean being rigid. It means keeping your word to yourself, even in little ways. Think of it like this. Self-kindness equals knowing when to rest. Self-discipline equals knowing when to push. You don't have to get it perfect. You just need to notice when you're tilting too far either way. Some days you'll need more rest. Some days you'll need more structure. Learning to feel that difference and adjust without guilt is a superpower. And here's something to remember: being kind to yourself doesn't mean staying stuck. It means giving yourself a better reason to move forward. Not because you hate where you are, but because you care about where you're going. Chapter 10. Keep going even when you slip. Progress isn't about being perfect, it's about coming back. Here's something no one says enough: you will slip up. You'll have off days. You'll miss deadlines. You'll scroll instead of starting. That's not failure. That's being human. The real question isn't, will I mess up? It's, what will I do next? The people who succeed, the ones who build good habits and stick with them, they don't do it by being perfect. They do it by getting back up faster. They don't wait for the right time. They don't restart Monday. They just restart now. Quietly. Without the guilt spiral. Here's how you do that too. Notice the slip. Don't judge it. Just name it. Okay, I scrolled too long. That's what happened. Pause the shame. Shame says, you always do this. Stop. Say, that was one choice. I can make a new one now. Restart small. Don't punish yourself by doing double the work. Just do the next simple thing. Celebrate the comeback. Even if it's tiny. Say, I didn't quit. I returned. Every time you come back, you build resilience. You prove to yourself, I can be someone who keeps going, even after falling off. And that's the most powerful identity you can build. Not perfect, but persistent. You won't always feel motivated. You won't always feel strong. But you can always choose again. That's the beauty of progress. It isn't a straight line. It's a series of restarts, over and over, that build something solid. So next time you fall off track, remember, one messy comeback is stronger than 100 perfect starts. You've already started. You're already learning. You already care enough to try again. That's not weakness. That's growth. And it's what's going to carry you through, one small, honest step at a time.